I didn't plan for these three movies to have any connection, anything to do with each other at all. One is a moral thriller, dark romance comedy about a school shooting that didn't happen. One is a cheesy black rom-com set in Italy. One is a sci-fi movie about an astronaut and an alien who become best friends. But I watched all three of them pretty back to back, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about them. So, can we talk about it? First is the drama. I genuinely felt so weird walking out of the theater. I felt unsettled in a way that I couldn't really explain. And it wasn't until I went online and I saw other people talking about the movie that I felt like a little bit more validated. I just felt like I wasn't going crazy for kind of not, I don't want to say not seeing the big deal behind Emma's secret, but like she didn't do it. So here's what got me. Rachel is a bitch. Full stop. She is a bitch. And I don't say that lightly because I think the film actually wants you to like really sit with that, in that what Emma wanted to do was bad, horrible, unforgivable, but she didn't do it. And Rachel's like the consequences of it. I don't think I explained that right. Emma plotted something horrible, and I'm not going to pretend like she didn't, but she didn't do it. She chose not to do it. And not only did she choose not to do it, she carried that guilt for years and years. The guilt of even having that thought. And then she channeled it into becoming an activist against gun violence. And then there's Rachel, who gave Mike so much grace when he almost literally killed his girlfriend. She gave Charlie grace for causing a kid to move somewhere else because he got bullied so bad. She gave herself quite a lot of grace for what seems like the film hinting at the fact that this boy that she shoved into this closet thing died because of what she did, and she doesn't feel that guilty about it. And she couldn't extend that same grace to Emma for something she never did. And then the part that really got me was Rachel weaponized her cousin's trauma to go against Emma. She took someone else's trauma and used it to make herself a victim. It's giving white women tears. There's this moment towards the end where Charlie starts talking about how it could have been anyone. Anyone could have these thoughts, anyone could have these plans in their head, but they don't do it. And what matters is them choosing not to act on it. Rachel, Mike, and Charlie all hurt real people and moved on. Emma hurt no one, and she didn't move on. And then Rachel, honestly, somewhat of Charlie, didn't really help that situation. The film kind of keeps asking the whole thing throughout the whole movie, what is worse, intention or action? But then it answers its own question saying action. It's always action. And the one person being punished is the one person that didn't act. And honestly, that's not just a movie thing. It is like a real thing. The people who honestly carry the most guilt are often the ones who did the least amount of damage. The ones who had to take the high road, had to be the bigger person despite them not being the one that dealt damage. And the people who did the damage, they've already forgiven themselves. They're off scot-free. I really did enjoy this movie. I don't know what expectations I had going into it. It did kind of get spoiled for me though, because avid Twitter user here. I went on Twitter and it did in fact say that a parent from someone who passed away during Columbine didn't like the movie. And that kind of tipped me off as to what happened. But I didn't also expect that she didn't do it. I don't think I'll ever watch this movie again. Next is Yumi and Tuscany. Oh, I love a cheesy rom-com. I love a cheesy rom-com. I love pure joy rom-coms. I love a black joy rom-com. And this movie has all of those mixed together. And I'm not ashamed for how much I love this movie. I've already seen it 3 times. I can see it about 1 million more. But honestly, where this movie got me wasn't really the cheesiness or the romance. It was Anna. Anna is a woman so caught up in responsibility and circumstance and other people's needs that she pretty much missed the life that she wanted to live. She didn't act on it because she felt like she couldn't. And then there's this pull, this like string tied to her and Tuscany that she just wants to fulfill. The place she never thought she'd go, the dreams she gave up. And watching her resist it and then finally opening herself up to it, low-key, high-key broke me. Because honestly, I know that feeling. I know the feeling of wanting something so bad and having like a quiet voice in your head saying, what's the point? You're never gonna get there. What if you don't make it? What if this is everything you've ever wanted and you get there and you don't like it or you suck at it? I want to go to London so badly. I want to make films so badly. I want to do sports photography so badly. These are things that I feel so deeply in my bones. And there's this part of me I keep trying to push down that is already calculating the odds and wondering if trying is even worth it. And then there's this conversation between Anna and Michael where they're talking about their parents and how they both reacted to the grief of losing their parents, about how Anna ran away from her grief and Michael ran directly into his, and neither of them could tell which one was harder. Chef kiss. Great scene, by the way. One avoided, one overcompensated. Both were really just trying to protect themselves, and both of them ended up lost until they found each other, and then they fixed each other. And honestly, I think about how much I spend my life doing one thing or another, running from the hard thing and throwing myself at responsibility so that I can sort of avoid the hard thing, sort of avoid or forget what I actually wanted. This movie is nowhere near being perfect, but honestly, it gave me something I didn't really know I needed. And it makes you believe just for 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer, that you can be broken and still be loved. That love isn't something that asks you to have everything together before you dive into it. Because honestly, I hate when people say, oh, you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. You have to fix those parts of yourselves. When honestly, some things can only be solved by someone else loving you, if that makes sense. And this movie just says that sometimes the dream, it finds you if you stop running from it. This movie is also black as all outdoors, and I loved it. I loved the little sneaky details that make you feel comfortable. This movie was made for you. You're not on edge. You're not wondering if something is gonna happen to them because of the color of their skin. This movie is telling you you're safe here, you can enjoy this to the fullest extent, and you can just be. This movie is not hard to understand by any means, but if you didn't like it, I'm just gonna assume you didn't get it. Both of these people were born to play romantic leads. Their chemistry is undeniable, and I will not be taking any criticisms on this movie, ever. Next is Project Hail Mary, and this movie is insane. And I mean that with every ounce of reverence I have. Let me talk about Rocky first. Rocky is an alien. He has no face. He literally has no face, no facial features, nothing of the sort. He looks like a rock. It's not just a boulder, it's a rock. And he is honestly the best character in this film. Sorry, he's the best character in this movie. And also the most interesting. The writing of this movie was so precise, had to be so committed for that to be true. Because Rocky can't give you a look, he can't raise his eyebrows, he can't scrunch his nose, he can't smile, he can't cry. Every feeling that he has to come through his movement, because even his voice is kind of sort of static. There's not really much inflection. I think that's how you say it. It just felt so intentional and well done. They really cared to make Rocky more than just a sidekick. And honestly, he low-key made me cry multiple times throughout the movie. Not necessarily because something sad happened, because you can feel how much he mattered to Grace and even to the other people. I don't know what the alien race is called. I'm just gonna say people. The people on his ship, his lover, like Rocky, oh my god. And honestly, that only happens because the people who are making this film care. They care so deeply about every single craft element that went into making this movie, leaving nothing to chance. Which brings me to the bigger thing that I can't stop thinking about. This movie has no green screen, no CGI environments. Every set is practical and real. The space imagery is based on actual photographs from space. Rocky was a physical puppet, a hand-built, physically operated puppet. And the puppeteer is eligible for an Oscar nomination, which I think is one of the coolest things I've ever heard of. This movie is made by real artists who refuse to take shortcuts, and you feel it, you honestly feel it through every single frame of this movie. You can feel that they care, you feel the commitment, you feel the humanity of every single person that went into making this movie, which I feel like maybe ironic is not the best word for it, but it feels perfectly, it fits perfectly for what the themes of this movie are, which is humanity brings us all together. And you know what? It all worked. Because people went to see it. People are still talking about it. It's still in theaters right now. Because audiences aren't getting tired of going to the movies. They're tired of going to the movies and feeling nothing. Give people something real, made by real artists who believe in what they are making, and they will show up. Audiences will show up. I've been quite in a film watching slump, and honestly, Project Hail Mary, You, Me, and Tuscany, and the drama reminded me why I love filmmaking so much. It reminded me why I want to do this in the first place. It shows me what is possible when you trust the craft and trust the audiences and just make something that feels true and authentic. I watch a lot of movies in a month. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was in a movie slump for April. But these 3 movies just really spoke to me. And still thinking about them, and I feel like I'll be still thinking about them for a thick minute. Give people grace for something that they didn't do. Stop running from the life you actually want. Trust the art and make something real. I don't think these things are really a coincidence. I think it's just what happens when you pay attention. And I'm really excited to see what May is gonna bring, because I feel like April was the jumping point for what is going to be an incredible year of new releases. If you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and tell me what you've watched recently that you can't stop thinking about, or if you have any opinions on the movies that I just talked about. Anyways, I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Smooches. Bye.